Well, welcome and thank you for clicking in on this video. I am a new YouTuber and truly passionate about architecture and Feng Shui and color. And I cannot wait for YouTube to figure me out to bring more people. But even the amount of people that I've gotten thus far, it means there's curiosity out there. It means that I can't wait to find my people here. So thank you, YouTube, for bringing us together and being curious about architecture and Feng Shui and how it can be more, like how we can enjoy even more color in our lives and enhance our lives. So let me tell you about myself first. My name's Erica Meyer. I'm an architect. I went to the University of Cincinnati for architecture. I have been in the industry almost 30 years now, and I decided to be an architect in 5th grade. So I think you're 10 or 11. So almost 42 years of just being curious and intrigued and inspired by architecture. And it wasn't until my mid 30s where things were going great in career-wise. I lived by the ocean, great set of friends, but I still was missing my lifelong partner. And at that same time, the movie The Secret was a big splash at the time, the law of attraction. And there was only one woman on the movie that I remember, of course. And she, one woman, and her name is Marie Diamond, a Feng Shui master. And she also has a YouTube channel and books and TV shows, and she's reached over 500 million people. So in the movie, she is the only person. They're talking about manifesting that which we want in our lives and the law of attraction. She's the only person talking about the potential of your home also helping that. You need to, of course, decide what you want to attract. But then your home, she coins the term, it's your vision board. And your home then supports that. Oh, there's a reticular activating system. I think there's a connection there that we don't talk about, that your home is, what is this reticular activating system? That's a future video. Stay tuned and subscribe, please, for I will connect these two. So, a long time of loving Feng Shui, and it worked. It brought me my husband. We, not long after hiring a Feng Shui consultant, having her correct some of my Feng Shui swing and a miss, that eventually I met my husband. And years later, my husband and I, or not even years later, my husband, a part of that attracted me to my husband is his also spirituality and his desire to improve himself as well. And so we took life design courses. And in these life design courses, there are 8 or 9 elements that let's improve. Let's make sure we have a strong foundation. And then let's look at all of these different elements of our lives. And have you even thought about that? Or have you considered? I feel like oftentimes once you get your degree and you're an adult, you're out there in the world, and is life over? You're like, is this all there is? And there's always room to improve. And sometimes we don't even think about certain areas like, oh, I would like to have more creativity in my life. I would like more depth of purpose in my life. I would like deeper relationships and more prosperity and better health. All of these things that so many self-help courses talk about, and we're always improving. Somebody at one point, they were talking about this spiral that we are evolving personally and just as a species in the spiral. We're always kind of coming back, but hopefully like getting better and better. So we're in this course, we're talking about our hopes and dreams in these certain areas, but then I have been exposed to Feng Shui. I'm like, wait a second, these are the same. But in Feng Shui, it is produced, they have decided a certain grid, or it's based on a compass. And the reason why I can get behind this as an architect and like feel like, why not try this, is because these 9 squares, and I'm going to jump right into, I've got a slide ready for this, but let me hit escape for a moment, get back to this play, and just a little bit of intermission. I'm just going to jump right into that which makes me so dang happy. All right, let me come back here. It's now ready. Thank you for waiting so much. Let me share a window, which is this, in China, I think for emperors. And I have taken many Feng Shui courses and read a number of books, but I am not a Feng Shui master by any means. I am just an enthusiastic practitioner and curious architect trying to marry these things together and find a community who also wants to talk about this. So welcome once again. So with this Feng Shui compass, now that what traditional masters use is pointing south at the top of there. I've changed it around because as an architect in North America, all plans and drawings are typically with north at the top. So that was like issue number 1 that I needed to solve for myself, is if I was going to look at my own house plan and then a Bagua compass or a Feng Shui compass, or this 9 square grid, which is called a Bagua, that it needed to be north and north. Like those needed to match in order for my brain to figure it out. So back to these self-help life design courses that we were taking, they were talking about help, purpose, spirituality, creativity, your health, your family, your relationships, your reputation, and your prosperity. They were all talking about those 9 areas. But Feng Shui takes those and they say, this is a certain direction. This is a certain direction. They even go into deeper of like, this is a certain person, mother, father, first child, first son, first daughter, and blah, blah, blah. It keeps going and going and going as deep as you want it to. But why I could get behind this system is because the abundance and prosperity is that where for all of us in the northern hemisphere, where China is in the northern hemisphere, sun would have been rising in the east, and that's where growth is. Like that's, if you want to grow and prosper and have good crops, plant over there, lots of good water, so they're getting the maximum amount of sun all day long. That just makes sense to me. Health is in the center of your home, and that just makes sense to me, because without your health, nothing else matters, right? Like, or it just makes everything more difficult. And so if you've got a strong, healthy foundation, there you go. Like then you can start exploring all these other areas. Southwest just makes sense to me that relationships are in the Southwest, because once you find that partner, and let me just clarify, love should be everywhere, right? But this relationship, this dedicated partner that you are going to spend the rest of your life with and go through the ups and the downs with and enjoy the beautiful sunset together, because the sun's setting in the west and going then through the long, dark night, right? So that, I just love how that connects. So hello, one person. I love you. Okay, so let me in today. So this is just a review of, well, I'm distracted. Oh, you left. Oh, bummer. Okay. Well, and you know what lights me up? So what lights me up about interior design and architecture are when I look at these color palettes. Even though I had no desire ever to be an interior designer, I still love looking at these color boards and the material boards, and it's still so, oh, so very important. So I just felt that it was so easy then to take these material boards that I clipped from Pinterest and put them. And this is just a starting point for material palettes that then also definitely get personalized to you, personalized to your color tastes. And then what these mostly are showing are the base, the foundation 5 Feng Shui elements. Let me show you those guys. Here we go. Water, earth, wood, metal, and fire. These guys, these are the 5 elements, and each one of these sectors of the bagua have, so north is water, the southwest, center, and northeast, their anchor element is earth. Wood, you guessed it, is in the east and the southeast. Metal is in the northwest and west, and then fire in the south. All areas should have a little bit of these pops of the, you know, all elements are in all areas. Yes, that makes a well-balanced design. Ooh, pardon me. Don't drink fizzy drinks before going live. So the these elements. So these are the base elements. It's a starting point, but then you are going to have different, just with the, in the last video, I did a 60, 30, 10. So that 60%, that base element, that's what we're starting with and showing here. There's a little bit of, so let's use the Southwest as an example. Oh, that's interesting. Sorry. Let's see here. Can you, oh, cool. So in the South is fire. So it's, we're going to represent it by these beautiful, bold fire colors. So that's going to potentially be our base element there. But then we've got lots of beautiful earth and a little bit of water. So it's, that's our 60, 30, 10, just a 10% of those little pops of blue. And, you know, I didn't develop these palettes, but again, in the north here, we can start to see there's, you know, a lot of blue, and dark blue and black is what represents water. And then, so that's our base element. And then 30% is that earth and wood. And then what's missing here potentially, well, we can say that this white is metal, but there's also no fire. So adding just a little bit of fire in there. Okay, so my goodness, that is quite the warm up of 15 minutes or 16 minutes now of warming up. But really what I wanted to talk about today, and we will not end the stream. What I wanted to talk about today is going into the deeper. So the deeper conversation about interior design on YouTube out there in the world. But there are so many great YouTubers, interior design YouTubers out there, and they are giving solid advice about hanging your curtains high, so to elongate your room, moving your TV lower to eye level, so when you're sitting, so you're not looking up and straining your neck, or moving your, like here, this, getting, if this were the back of a couch, right, that closing that gap. Oftentimes you'll see images of people mounting too high, people mounting artwork way too high, right? So, or, and then the other favorite one that I see so often is small rugs. People buy small rugs, and that every interior designer is going, and they're not wrong, but I just want to move the conversation beyond rug size to getting into colors and patterns that then enhance your life. And there's no downside to it. So there's no downside to it. And oftentimes it's going to take a while. It's going to, I'm not done. Feng Shui is a framework. Feng Shui is a framework to design within. And you're always tweaking and improving and coming to a new clarity about what abundance means to you, and all of those 9 aspects, right? You're just constantly getting new clarity. And as you achieve a certain level of mastery, you set your sights on something new, and then you can change your space and continue to grow. So I'm going to go back to my slides here just for a second. Please excuse. Okay. And so I ended up only getting to 2 sets of slides but I have so many favorite interior designers on YouTube. And so more to come in the future. But let me first share our girl. Are we sharing? Oh, not yet. Share this one. Share. Okay. All right. So let me first share one of my faves. Oh, gotta click on here. Paige Wassel. Now, I mean, it's funny. I think I'm so young at heart, and yet, like, I could probably be Paige's mom and so many of these fabulous people. And I'm kind of surprised that I'm that dang old. Good Lord, right? Oh, well, it happens to all of us as long as we're young at heart and, in our souls. There we go. So Paige is somewhere, I think she lives in the Southern California area. She's a bit snarky sometimes, but hey, that's what happens in your 20s and 30s and even beyond. I've got plenty of snarky friends in my 50s, and certainly I guess I could be too. But, and my biggest home decor regrets, someday I'm going to do a similar video in the future, but within that Feng Shui framework, because even with a framework, you make the best choice that you can. And sometimes you have to live and learn. There's no promise of perfection. But the video of Paige's that she just released last week or really recently is Divine Advice for Your Homes. Now, people submitted pictures like these, maybe are part of her community, and they're like, please help me. And this is Paige's quick draw advice for a number of homes. So I don't disagree with her at all, but I'm going to add on a Feng Shui, from my knowledge, a little Feng Shui extra. So in this one is how to make this room more cozy. And I love Paige. Basically, she loves this space, and we agree upon her advice for improving the room is that light fixture, this open light fixture. She recommends doing a round paper cover that she's got in her office. And she makes a comment that this bare bulb and the open basket is not cozy. I agree. In my last video, I think these are bug zappers, right? And having that bare bulb above you, I think is not good. And and I don't know if it's, I think it is going to, like, a feng shui master again would agree that like that bare bulb is not warm and cozy and inviting, and that's what you need in your room. But my bigger problem or issue or whatever concern is that, this person wants more cozy, and they've got all of this stuff above their head. So this is adorable color, and the cute like jade owl and all of that is adorable, but move it to the other side of the room. So while you're sleeping in bed, you can look at your cute things, because metaphorically and potentially literally, this all can fall on your head while you're sleeping or while you're doing other things in your bed. Move that potential stuff to the other side of the room. You can still appreciate it, and then put above your bed something, if you want something, just a nice large piece of artwork that's fixed to the wall, that's not going to fall off if earthquakes or other things happen in that area. Paige also liked this light fixture. I'm not a fan. I would prefer some nice glowing side sconces. You don't have really room, it looks like, for side tables and a lamp, but you could do some cute glowing low sconces that just, again, emit, this is a little bit of a doctor's office light, right? or a focused task light, which maybe if you're a voracious reader, I guess you must be, something to consider. Okay, so adorable. Glad that Paige and I agree on this. And again, none of these things I don't disagree. So on to the next, which is how to combine an office and living room. And so this is what was submitted to Paige. And I, again, love, this is Paige's home right now, as far as I know. I have not visited at all, but she is suggesting putting the desk behind the couch because you're looking at either a TV or potentially like a beautiful view out the window. And here's another one, like, look at that beautiful view. So you're either orienting your towards, oh, do I have live chat? Oh no, nobody's here. It's okay. You either orient your desk couch combo either towards the TV, which you're watching often, or towards this beautiful view. And my second apartment, whatever, doesn't matter. I had an apartment that was facing the ocean and did a very similar concept of like orienting out the window. I love this. Now, this is also potentially giving you the command position. And we'll just step away from that slide for a minute and to talk about the command position. And again, another one of my most favorite YouTubers, we'll just say, because he is an architect. He does all Feng Shui. It is my future buddy, Cliff Tan, Dear Modern. He's amazing. And he gives me hope because he's got 2.2 million followers already. And he is talking about Feng Shui. Mostly he is talking about placement of furniture to flow. So he's talking about circulation and then command position. He goes through all of, I've watched all of his videos, I'm pretty darn sure. And yeah, pretty sure. And he does cover color and he does cover materials at different points, but the vast majority of his viewership must really, obviously, really need help with placement of furniture. And what I wanted to say about the command position and share thus far, I 100% agree with Cliff. And if you haven't heard of this idea of the command position, it is when you are the function of the room, of whatever you're in. You are in my office right now. The door's over there. The windows are to my side here. I'm in command of this room. When I first set up this room, when we first moved in, I wanted to look out the windows all the time and see what was going on in my neighborhood because it was being built around me. So I was pointed that way. But that meant that I didn't necessarily know who was coming from behind. Now, of course, I'm in my own home. So on a bigger scheme, I am in a protected space already. But still, you've seen that video where the child runs in the office and the dad can't see it at first. I had that experience a number of times. So that it's not bad energy. It's just unknown energy coming at you in the form of a young child, or maybe your cat or a dog or whatever. So now I can see what's going on outside of my house, inside of my house, and at the computer. Nobody's joining the live chat yet. It's okay. So command position. So once if it's your bedroom, you want to be able to be lying in bed and look up and see what's going on, right? See an intruder or see what's, the storms outside, whatever. You want to be able to wake up in control and within your living room or as people are entering your home. Now, I always thought of the command position kind of as a defensive position. And Cliff often talks about, and he's so cute with monkeys and birds, like attacking you from behind. And I agree, but somebody else, another Feng Shui person, and I honestly do not remember, and nobody's here, so it doesn't matter. But they talked about that when you're in the command position, you can also, maybe it was Marie Diamond, that when you're sitting in the command position, it is like you're the king or queen and people are bringing things to you and you're in control of that. And if there are problems coming at you, like, you can be cool about it, right? Like you're secure from behind. You've got your guards probably as this royalty, and you have this security of what is coming your way. That's the cool thing about command position. Yes, it's defensive, but yes, it's also putting you in charge of your dominion and giving you more view of what's on the horizon, what's coming at you, so you can react slower or more direct, or not frantic, like I don't know that. Yeah, you can just be more calm in whatever's happening, which I love. Okay, so back to slides. Let me show you. Oh, wait, let me get to the next slide. Oh, yes. So this one is super fun. Share again, share, window. This one, share how to style a log cabin. And this is what somebody's log cabin, a friend of Paige's, that was selected. And she talks about, there's so much wood, and she's like, yeah, go with the wood. I agree. The reason why I chose this one, and I think she said, look at some Pinterest boards. Here, I would just suggest Pendleton has these, that log cabin rustic feel of. What's missing for me is pattern in this, like a bold pattern, a grounding pattern. I think this red carpet would look amazing underneath that dining room, that dining set. And what also strikes me about this picture is that oftentimes a second home, amazing that you have a second home. I look forward to having a second home someday myself. But often a second home can also be like that second home of like, oh, let's just go put this at the cabin. There comes a point, just like when you're moving into your first apartment, that people are generous and they give you things and it gets you going into your new space. It gets your cabin going. But eventually, you can start refining and choosing a different lamp that would be more appropriate, right? They are looking for how to style a log cabin. So because they're calling it a log cabin, I think they want to stay in that vernacular. This doesn't quite, from my knowledge of log cabin interior design, I don't think that works. But then also starting to look at the sofa, this piece, are those chosen with intention now, or is that where you can start to upgrade one piece at a time that, continues to make it more cozy cabin, log cabin style? And the other curious thing about this dining table is there are 3 chairs only on this side. There's this piano. It's all very close. She only showed one picture of this cabin. Maybe there were submitted a number, but it's limiting. When I would suggest in the future, if you are sending in pictures of your home to anybody on the internet, do like 4 corners, so then they can really stand in that furthest corner, all 4 corners, so the person you are looking for advice from can really start to help you direct, because I don't know what the other limiting factors are in this place, and neither does Paige. And then you can see here, like this sofa with this on, with a window behind you. Again, you're not in the command position. You don't know what scary Bigfoot is, or black bear is at the window. But that might, who knows, maybe these people never sit on this couch any longer. They're really, the 3 of them are sitting. Aw, the 3 bears. Papa bear, mama bear, baby bear. Anyways, that's cute. Okay, on to the next. What pink color? So Paige's friend here has got this white kitchen apartment area. And Paige is fine. She was like, just stay with the white. And she talks about different kinds of white. But I think the question for her was, what paint color? So they want to paint. They want color. I think she recommends like a piece of artwork here, which seems like the other. But again, what color? What color for your rug and for any light fixtures? Now, because this is a little kitchen area, Feng Shui always says put a little fire in that area. So a red tea kettle, a red or orange or yellow, a pop of that vibrant color would help a lot there. But here is where I wish, dear photographer, can you pull out your phone and compass and like, what are we looking at? What direction are these trees? If we knew that, then I could say, well, you've already got a lot of white metal and brown, which represents the wood, and the brown here. You've got white, you've got earth. So white, metal, brown, earth. You've got 2 of these elements, a little bit of gray, and the black is water. But if you're now facing east or south, like, yeah, go with the red carpet. Go with an energetic, fun piece of artwork there that is lively, not only because it's a public space, because it also is in the south direction. And it will remind you that, yeah, I want to improve my reputation and be known for. What do you want to be known for whatever that may be, like you get to choose that, and it will remind you, and it will be more than just a picture that you found at Home Goods. It will, that fits that space. It has more meaning, and you will remember the time when you picked this cool piece of artwork out that reminded you that your goals and you want to be known for bringing a deeper depth to interior design on YouTube. That's what I want to be known for. I want to make this connection for people. And then the more people that know this, when your friends come over, they'll be like, that is a really great piece of artwork. Why did you select that one? And you can tell them the long story. Why did I select this piece of artwork behind me? Because of the trees and growth. And I think it kind of looks like New York City in the background. And I love Central Park, and I love New York City and that energy. And I just felt like that had growth energy to it. And the path and all the people just feels abundant. Yeah, it is from Home Goods. It was probably $59.99. And until I find some, original piece of artwork that creates that same amount of like, I love that, and it means that to me, that works awesome. Yeah. I have placeholders that I find at Home Goods, and those placeholders mean something to me, and they are passionate. They create something in me until you get the original, or you maybe never do. Like, do you want to spend thousands of dollars on, a Picasso over there? Or do you want to go on a world tour, amazing trip? Or, you can have both eventually, but I don't know. I just, take your time. So, all right. What's next on this one? Oh yeah. What paint color? Am I cute? Oh, and then in this, I was at Home Lowe's the other day, and this is one of their paint boards. And I just wanted to show you, like, in a side-by-side, like, this is your strong foundation colors, earth and metal and wood, or earth and wood, right? These are your colors. And then these, you want to then go next down here. And quite honestly, if maybe only use that top row if you are painting furniture. Like, those should really be the pop of color, not the whole room. And, I have painted a number of rooms in this yellow, and, you often see these bright, vibrant colors in a kitchen space. And oftentimes it's just a little too much. So go with that more neutral and then pop. Or use a muted color down here and then pop it even more up there. So the 10% pop, just be careful. So, all right. My other favorite, there are a lot, but Kristen McGowan. And she's such a cutie patootie. I could also probably be her mom, but I am a new, look at that, 1.86 million subscribers. Rock on, Kristen. And I'm a new subscriber, so I have not been following you for as long as you've been doing this, but she obviously has a very neutral, very pretty design, neutral palette. And the video that she recently did was this remake of her stair, where she stands this baluster down and then adds this carpet and the gallery wall. And when I love all of it. She does an amazing job. She's got great details. She's got great practical advice. She does this all really well. The one, what I want to add on to is this stripe pattern is often that, like, the vertical represents growth. So even though she's got a neutral palette, she is directing, like this was such a good choice. Bravo, Kristen. This is a great choice of pattern to enhance your circulation, to enhance growth, and like the abundance of her artwork, a gallery wall. I mean, I hope that this is in her the southeast or east direction. It's obviously in the center of her home, and that's probably why people get confused and overwhelmed potentially by Feng Shui. But but my goal is to give you this confidence. So no matter what you're doing, you've got this like framework, this backbone, this framework to confidently design and build within, and then also enhance your prosperity and dreams and health and home. So love it. Okay. Oh, and then here again is the color palette. So like you could see probably where Kristen might live. And then adding, and I see this a lot. It happened with let me just stop sharing here, see if anybody's here. No, okay, no one's here. But point being, Kristen, RGB, the red, green, blue. So in my growth in YouTube and trying to figure out thumbnails, there is a school of thought and very successful thumbnails often have red, green, blue in them. And those are the three primary colors that attract, and they've done the A/B testing between the color variations, and that red, green, blue pops in thumbnails. And I'm not even using it myself. I guess I use the yellow every once in a while, but whatever. With our very neutral interiors, which I love, I think having a neutral interior is a strong foundation, and that is what your home should be. First and foremost, it's a strong foundation that keeps you secure, that makes you, all the chaos in the outside world. You want that strong foundation. So having a very plain, neutral palette in your home is totally good. Totally good. And when you're ready to grow and you're feeling the itch to, I need more, that's when you start incorporating the next level of color, and then those pops of color. And oftentimes, I think that a lot of people have the 60 and the 30 almost worked out. Hopefully, we'll start talking about that. But what? One person. Hello. Hello, as I get tired and exhausted. Chat me something. Do you have a question? Because I have been talking to myself for 46 minutes and I'm tired. But red, green, blue, if you're living in a very boring space, put a plant, put something red, put something blue, and you're already then starting to create that more balanced, more equal, more richer palette. So great. Oh, I'm so happy. You, one person, mwah, I love you, whoever you are. I am so pleased that YouTube found us, and one person at a time. If you have any questions, I don't even know how to. Yeah. Is there a chat? No. Okay. If you want to chat something, I know it's a lot to ask, but watching is good enough. I have covered a couple of my favorite YouTubers, the interior design YouTubers out there. And my hope is to add a layer of Feng Shui so we can start talking about a deeper level of designing instead of just following the trends from side to side to wherever they go. Oftentimes, paint manufacturers, they'll tell you like the color trend of the year. And I think with having a Feng Shui framework of knowing where you want color in your home gives you, it makes you trend adverse, or it makes you trend, I don't want to say adverse, I want to say trend agnostic. And when you see a color then that speaks to your heart and soul, that is trendy, that the manufacturers want you to buy that year because they need to do what they need to do, that you can say, yes, I will take that plum object, and I have a great place for it. And it means something even deeper to me because I have been looking for a plum object to put in my area of prosperity to give it that extra little boost. And the world has finally manifested it for me. Like, that's cool. That's what I continue to do. Oh, and I will give you a real life example. So my house is I've tried my best to do Feng Shui and colors and subtly. Oh, but I do have this 6 coins, 9 coins that was suggested by a true Feng Shui master who I hired, and I have another object in my house. But I also want to be more subtle about it as well. Oh, you're gone. That's okay. I enjoyed you being here. I wonder if you went away just as I turned my back. Never turn your back. Yesterday. So in Feng Shui, there is a deeper, like the more involved that you want to go, I think they're called the flying stars. And they change year by year, cycle by cycle. There are these like daily cycles, minute cycles, large 20-year cycles, 180-year cycles. There's so many big cycles, little cycles. So these flying stars are another deeper level of cycles. And this year's flying stars, the Feng Shui consultants were talking about adding a fountain in your east, southeast, south sectors. And I was like, I don't really have that ability or whatever. It doesn't work. And we were on vacation last week. And while I was gone, a little terrible bug ate at this plant, and we returned, and the bush was just decimated, dry. I had to cut it down. And that is in our southeast sector, our prosperity, our wealth. And so I cut that thing down and was able to find this blue ceramic fountain that I drove up to Dayton, Ohio yesterday and got this fountain. And it is just, it brings me such joy. The color, it's got a little light. I'll do a whole video about it someday. And I had to wait for that. And when when the advice came out, I couldn't act upon it. And when the advice came out, I didn't even know what to, like, oftentimes we get advice and you don't even know what to do with it. You're like, okay, I guess I'll put that in the backpack for later. And then when opportunity arises, you're like, a dead tree, chop it down. And now in goes my beautiful blue fountain someday. All right, guys. Well, 52 minutes. There were 2 long views by somebody. Mwah! Thank you. That was good enough for me. I hope you subscribe and watch this, my transformation over YouTube. We'll see. there's cool things coming. I promise to get more scripted, a little bit more polished, and yet I kind of like messy a little bit. There's this like desire of polished and this desire of off the cuff and just being real. And yeah, so I'm a little mix of both of those. So please join and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Summer is difficult for, that's why I'm doing so many lives, is because summer schedules are erratic. So I find these lives a test to trying to be prepared, and it works a little bit more with my random schedule. I commit to doing more polished videos for you in the future once children are back in school. But I do appreciate your views and your time. And I hope I've planted a few seeds of how you can even further enrich your home and enrich your life. And I thank you, little green dot. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.